Blue Lock was the single best-selling manga of 2023, ahead of some of the biggest manga titans like Jujutsu Kaisen, Oshinoko, Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, and this is the animation that we got for season 2. Now, to be fair, Studio 8-Bit isn't really known for having the greatest adaptations ever, but when they needed to clutch up for hype moments in season 1, they really delivered big time. You know, this single Bachira scene in the first episode was what got me hooked to watch the rest of the show. The dynamic camera, the fluid movements, the details in the drawings, it was just... oh, it was beautiful. And when I watch a sports anime, this is the kind of moment I'm looking for. I'm talking Tsukishima blocking Ushijima, Taiga entering the zone, Ichigo saying Bankai, this is the shit I live for in sports anime. Now we got season 2 of Blue Lock. This is the arc manga fans have been hyping up for ages. I myself have read it. I can say it's genuinely peak. It's probably the best arc in the entire series. I was so hyped, I started edging myself to manga fan animations just so I can bust when season 2 finally dropped, but then the trailer released. And normally when you show a trailer to people, you want to highlight the best moments, you want people to get excited about your new show, not to look at the animation and go, ugh. So I start coping. I'm thinking maybe they purposely showed us some of the worst stuff so we can get excited when the animation actually looks fire, you know what I mean? And it's been an entire year since season 1 was animated, right? It's not like these animators were working on anything else. But then I watched Shinji's video on Blue Lock season 2, and I learned that they made a pointless season 1 recap movie with, 5 new scenes of Nagi and Reo French kissing? And now I'm starting to worry, did they really shorten the production schedule of season 2 just to make a shitty recap movie for a few extra dollars? And after giving this new season 3 episodes, I gave it the 3 episode rule, I just can't anymore. I need to talk about how utterly dog shit this looks. Now, I've seen some truly insane takes online, like episode 3 of Blue Lock is nearing the Demon Slayer spider fight animation. What? This shit shouldn't even count as animation. This is a fucking PowerPoint presentation. They even got the goofy odd transitions I used to add as a kid to make my middle school science presentation seem funny. And it seems like everyone at 8-Bit realized that if they just shipped an audio drama with pictures, everyone would notice. So they started adding these obnoxious speed lines to every single shot. And, don't get me wrong, the VFX does look good sometimes, but not when you fucking spam these blur lines every 5 seconds. They're trying way too hard to copy the manga's art style and aesthetic, and while it looks good for static shots and close-ups, it makes it way harder for the animation team to actually focus on the movement itself when the drawings are just so detailed. This is why every shot feels like it's being ripped out of the manga 1-to-1. Let's break down arguably the greatest moment of Blue Lock season 2 when Isagi gets his next awakening. Now, remember in season 1, we got this awakening. Oh my, look at those impact frames, damn! And this is what we got in season 2. He is not moving, bro. It's just all VFX. There is no movement there. You can break down this moment scene for scene and it will 100% match the manga panel for panel. That's not a good adaptation. When you turn a manga into an anime, you can't just try and copy everything 1-to-1. You have to utilize the strengths of that medium. You have to lean into them. And this is probably my biggest problem with the Blue Lock anime. Anytime it starts to deviate from the manga and actually try something cool or unique, it can look genuinely amazing. But for the most part, all they do is draw the manga panels and animate the hair. For season 2, I guess we got a few extra blur lines, but where's the creativity in adding motion to these scenes to make them feel like they're alive? I want to feel like Isagi is actually running down this field to get the ball. I found this fan animation of the exact awakening scene on Twitter that perfectly displays how you would translate this manga into animation. It has the movement, it has the speed that feels like Isaki is really running to get there. It's just beautiful. I don't need the Blue Lock characters to look exactly like how they did in the manga. I just need them to move. I want to feel like I'm watching an anime, not a fucking narrated picture book. And honestly, I can't in good faith recommend anyone watch the show at this point because just read the manga. The pacing is now infinitely better because of what they're trying to do with the anime in recreating it 1-for-1. Now, will Studio 8-Bit prove me wrong later, by making the U20 arc look amazing? I sure hope so. It's been a while since a sports manga gripped me like Blue Lock did, and I think it honestly deserves to have its best arc animated decently at the very least, but If this is the trailer they showed us, and these are the first 3 episodes, compare that to the first few episodes we got in Blue Lock Season 1. The difference is night and day here. I know I'm coming off as a pessimist and like a big hater, but it's really just because I'm a huge fan of the source material of Blue Lock. And I honestly think Studio 8-Bit is kind of fumbling the bag by going all in on this direction of trying to be too faithful. At this point, all we can hope for as Blue Lock fans is that the U20 arc is what's being prioritized right now, because genuinely, I don't know what the fuck they've been working on if not for U20. Like, I'm sorry, these first 3 episodes have just not been good. All right, so apparently this TikToker, Martin Rees, actually worked on the animation for Blue Lock Season 2, and he has a bit of insight into what happened with the production and why it might be so bad. There's an English translation here done by Cordobez Everdeen. So the English translation, I worked on the 2nd episode of Blue Lock, and I'll tell you why its animation was so bad. So apparently he was supposed to work on 5 episodes. Despite the low pay and negligible time, we did the best we could. There were many of the animations that were, I think, cut off in their final version, but they basically eliminated all the movement, some frames, or just made them differently. But the fault doesn't lie in the one that came after me, since they probably did all they could with the little time they had. Now, again, this is a huge problem in the anime industry. There's just not enough time given to these animators. These problems, just like in JJK in the past, or in the vast majority of animes, are a result of production committee of certain animes that take projects simply thinking about the money and not the condition of its workers. And it's because of this that I didn't work on any other episodes of Blue Lock. Once I finished working on the 2nd episode, I decided to get out. And just like that, I thought the final result ended up being a disaster. This made me feel like this is a job I'm not proud to upload. I got permission to publish one of my 22 cuts, and apparently this was one of the cuts that he ended up doing. And from what he's saying, they basically just removed all of the motion, and they just replaced it with still images because the animators didn't have enough time to probably fix up all of the drawings they were being given. Obviously, they just didn't have enough time to do any of that, and so they ended up scrapping it and going for just shittier animation. Yeah, animators were rushed and only given months basically to work on it, and it's crazy this guy just ended up quitting. I mean, I would quit too if the times just didn't make sense and if the working conditions were horrible. It's so unfortunate, man. 2 anime this season that were so good, had so much potential. Uzumaki and Blue Lock Season 2 just screwed by production committees. It makes me so sad, man. It makes me really, really sad, genuinely. But thanks for watching. Peace.